Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're gonna be taking a look back at the last 4 years of my competitive Brawl Stars, all the highs, the lows, all the new teammates, everything like that. And of course, at the end, going to be going through, why I'm not going to be playing competitive anymore, and yeah, all the reasons why. So yeah, let's get into it. But before we get into the rest of the video, today's video was sponsored by Repeat.gg, which is an online leaderboard tournament platform which allows you to compete for prizes and cash whilst playing your favorite games such as Brawl Stars. Repeat.gg already gives away over $80,000 a month in tournaments. Repeat.gg and Tribe Gaming is hosting a $5,000 Brawl Stars tournament, which is absolutely insane. You can sign up now using my link in the description. It takes less than a minute to sign up, and then go ahead, add your Brawl Stars ID, and then join the tournament. It is that simple. To connect your account, simply go to your Brawl Stars profile, copy the ID under your icon, and add it to your Repeat.gg profile. So the Tribe Gaming tournament is going to be in the trophy grind format, which is essentially a month-long tournament where the higher trophies you play, the more points you're gonna get, and then when you lose, you're obviously gonna lose points, and the aim is to get the most points at the end of the month. The second format that you can play is the Power League Rush format, which is a quick 2-hour tournament, basically playing Power League. The more you win, the more points you get. So make sure to go ahead and sign up at Repeat.gg or using my link in the description and join the Tribe Gaming tournament. So I started playing Brawl Stars at the end of 2018, and then started competitive in kind of early 2019, mid 2019, where I started with a team called Akaroshi, where I was playing with Semantic and Ick. So Semantic, obviously, a top player now. But back then, this was kind of like a bad team, not really known as much. And this is where I started off competitive. Obviously, then I joined Nova with Spen and Cerulean. And through like a series of fortunate events with another team getting DQ'd, we basically got third, and then we got bumped up to second. And we ended up qualifying for the World Finals in Busan, South Korea, which was absolutely amazing. Definitely an incredible experience. We ended up winning it somehow. I don't know how. Maybe it was my gene. My gene was it's not bad back then. But yeah, that was definitely one of the best days of my life for sure. Like, winning a world finals is absolutely incredible. It's really hard to describe the feeling. But for sure, winning something that big and almost kind of reaching the peak of like an esport or anything as an athlete that kind of early in your career is definitely really tough, because you're always looking for the same high and like looking for that same kind of position where winning world finals is not easy, and to achieve that so early in your career, anything else seems like failure kind of. So it was great to win, but it kind of was definitely a tough thing to kind of achieve at the start of my career, because it was tough to kind of like live up to that the rest of my 3 or 4 years playing. So it was tough, but yeah, 2019, of course, winning worlds was one of the best years, and that was incredible. So then going into 2020 from 2019, obviously after winning world finals, anything is going to be a bad year essentially, but this year was for sure one of the toughest years of my competitive career, really. So we left Nova, we joined Tribe at the start of the year. Tribe, obviously, they were smaller than they are now. They're obviously a lot bigger now, but they were still a really big team to kind of join, especially in mobile esports back in the start of 2020. So yeah, we kept the same team, me, Spencer, Cerulean, and in a couple months in, after we didn't qualify for a few monthly finals, me and Cerulean weren't really getting along, so we decided, I believe Cerulean decided to leave the team voluntarily, but I'm not 100% sure. And then we ended up getting in Semantic, who obviously was playing with TKS at the time, and he was playing with his friends. He didn't really want to leave them, but we managed to convince him to kind of leave them because he would have a better chance at essentially Worlds and doing well in monthly finals with us. And then we got so close to qualifying for Worlds, and obviously it was maybe LANs like every single month, but of course COVID came in and screwed that up, so it was only really like one LAN at the start of the year. But yeah, even the Worlds it was online, which was awful. Like, we might as well just not have had a Worlds, to be honest. It was completely pointless. Like, it was just, we haven't got servers basically won, so that was kind of stupid, but there was nothing they really could have done with COVID and everything. But yeah, it was kind of a Mickey Mouse Worlds that year, and definitely a tough year, because we could have still qualified if we did well in that last monthly final, but we didn't do well, and then we ended up not qualifying. We got 4th when we needed top 3 essentially. I think Clash, SK, and Code Magic qualified ahead of us, so yeah, it wasn't a great year. So 2021 again was another tough year for sure. So we started off the year, it was me, Spen, Drage, and then Semantic. Well, this was like before, this is like Case of Cups, so it's kind of like end of the last season, start of the new season. But then, Drage and Semantic didn't want to play with each other, so kind of had to pick between one of them, and there was like spots open up at SK. It just made more sense for Semantic to go to like a German org, and us to keep, Drage, because he's British and we've been friends with him for a lot longer, and then have KC join our team, because Drage wasn't 16 for a couple months, so we needed someone to actually play with, so would be me, Spen, and KC, essentially until Drage turned 16. Then we'd kind of try and fit him into the team as much as we could, or as best as we could. And then as soon as he turned 16, KC had some problems in the team and he ended up leaving. And like it was just, so then it was just me, Spen, and Drage. We didn't have to worry about like a 4-person rotation, which sometimes can be a bit awkward. Yeah, we qualified for the Worlds in the end. It wasn't the best year. We got 4th in EU, I believe. I don't remember whether we were tied for Totem, but it was SK, it was Clash, and then I think we qualified. We were like guaranteed for World first before Totem, but then they ended up kind of like qualifying or like overtaking us or something, or we had the same points. I don't really remember. And then Bunker was 5th. We honestly didn't really deserve to qualify for Worlds that year. Like we had an average year. Sometimes in EU, it just feels like it's way too easy to qualify for World, which is why I like the changes they made now. Because like some of these years I'm like, well, how do we qualify? Like we were not good enough. But yeah, we ended up qualifying and we lost obviously in the first round to Navi, who were not there, which was a little annoying. But then they ended up getting 2nd, so it kind of showed that they were definitely a top team and kind of deserved to be there. But yeah, there was a pretty average year. This one, at least we qualified for World and we made it there. That was kind of the main goal. But yeah, not really an amazing year. And then we have 2022. I almost retired actually at the start of the year. I almost couldn't find a team. So yeah, I almost retired last year, but luckily I managed to find a team with obviously Drake and Yoshi. And at the start of the year, the whole talk in EU at least was about STMN EU and also SK. Nobody was really paying attention to us. Everyone thought everyone thought that STMN EU and SK were so far ahead of everyone and that we weren't gonna compete with them. So it was a very, very satisfying year. Obviously probably the best kind of well-rounded year in my competitive career, I would say, because 2019, yeah, we won Worlds, but we weren't at the top for the whole year. Obviously we finished #1 in EU this year, which is a very, very tough thing to do because EU is an incredibly tough region. We also won 2 monthly finals, and I felt like when we qualified for Worlds, I felt like we already deserved it, right? We're #1 in EU, and I felt like this year we deserved 100% to qualify for Worlds, #1 EU. Not something that is easy to do. And then, after MSI, we got knocked out straight away in MSI, which wasn't great, but it's cool going to 2 BSC lands for sure. And then after MSI, we had some problems in the team again. So Lanane came in, and then obviously we did pretty decently in the second half of the year. It was pretty even, split between like second half and first half of the year. Did pretty well in both halves. And then we went into World Finals, obviously really, really confident in the team and really confident that we could win it. We were, definitely me, even though we kind of knew Zest would be a little bit easier in that first game, but obviously taking nothing away from them. But yeah, just they were one of the weaker teams, and a lot of stats showed it. And then I honestly wasn't really too scared of facing Zeta. Like, they're an amazing team, but this year for sure, like they were more, like they were on the same level as kind of a similar level of other teams, at least in scrims. In 2021 it was really clear when we were practicing that Zeta was just so far ahead of everyone. But yeah, no, we definitely weren't scared of facing them. We obviously respected them as a team, Zeta 0, but we ended up losing to them, of course. Could have won that knockout that we did end up losing, and it would have been maybe taking it to 2-2. But yeah, they obviously, Zeta 0 obviously ended up winning everything, becoming world champions. So they were obviously an amazing team, but I'm still disappointed in our performance. I honestly think we could have beat them. And yeah, I think we made some mistakes in that knockout. If we won that, it'd be 2-2, and anything could happen in that last set. But overall, this last year was definitely a good way to end, and I definitely ended on a high for sure. So onto the last bit here. So like why I'm actually retiring. So I don't know, playing games for sure sounds like a dream job for most people. It seems like a perfect job, but one of the things I've definitely learned over the years is that with any job, there's good things and bad things about it. No matter how perfect it seems from the outside, there's good things and bad things, right? And no job is perfect. So after playing for 4 years, I'm finally just kind of like burnt out and bored of playing the game for hours and hours and hours a day, which I mean, it's incredible I've managed to play this much Brawl Stars, and that's obviously a credit to the team and the Brawl Stars team and how well they've done to develop the game over the years. It's progressed a crazy amount, but for me now, I unfortunately just don't enjoy the game, and I can't sit there like other pros and play for hours and hours and scrim for hours and hours. To me, it feels like work now, which is in a position like it's a position I don't want to be in, where it feels like I'm being forced to play the game for work. And I get that I'm in a very fortunate position. I was in a fortunate position to be playing kind of competitive Brawl Stars for a living. So I understand. I was in a very, very lucky position for sure. So that's kind of why I didn't upload so much last year, was because I didn't really enjoy the game too much. So I was mainly just kind of focusing on competitive, and obviously we ended up doing really well in competitive that year. So in my life, I've always strived to kind of do a job that I really, really enjoy. And that's why I started playing competitive Brawl Stars, because I was having so much fun. But unfortunately, now that's kind of the reason that I will retire. So to be honest, I'm super, super excited about the future. I'm going to hopefully, I took a break from Brawl Stars, but hopefully I'm going to be able to continue doing content now after that break when I come back fresh. But I'm definitely retired from competitive, and I have some other things that I'm doing on the side that I'm working on that I'm so, so excited about. And hopefully everything works out the way I want it to. So I'm not going to name names, but I just wanted to thank, you know, all the fans that have supported me along the years, all the teammates, of course, everyone at the organizations, especially Tribe, who've helped me so, so much in my career. And of course, all my close friends, and of course, everyone at Supercell, and in particular the Brawl Stars team, for, you know, giving me this opportunity over the last few years. Thank you guys. Peace.